What do you get when someone's born and raised in Texas, spends his adolescence in California, and has spent most of his life grounded, even from reading? You get me, a skeptic contrarian who values freedom of thought above all else. Welcome to my channel, The Eclectic Layman, where no question's off limits. Now, growing up in Texas, I was surrounded by simple folks just trying to make it to the next season. You know, I had a lot of questions, and a lot of the times I would get a response of, I don't know, which I can respect, but that doesn't stop me from asking questions. So I found solace in the school library. You know, I'd eat lunch there whenever I could. I knew all the librarians by name, and I even would request new books that I wanted to read. So I'm very thankful for them. And as I got older, homework held zero appeal. Zero. So my grades, it's hard to hold on to A's and B's, which were expected of me when you don't turn in any homework assignments. You can do the tests and get all that good, but if you're not turning anything in, C's and D's is what it was. So from fourth grade on, I entered a perpetual cycle of being grounded, occasionally even from reading. So I'd lay in bed and I'd think. That was my rebellion. And my questions evolved from idle curiosity to a tool for freedom of thought. Then I moved to California. I'd been there previously as a young child when my dad was in the military, but now I was more adolescent, and I found myself kind of shocked by the difference in the culture and the way of thinking. And it kind of made me realize, the trap that is your surroundings, like the small town mentality, what have you. And I made it a goal of mine to not get caught in any trap like that. And I made it my goal to never let circumstance dictate what I thought or how I felt about something. I wanted to truly think it through. Now look, we've all got biases, like myself included, especially myself. And I just want to share mine with you so you can take a look through my lens and kind of see how I see the world. I would say the first thing that I'm inclined towards is a form of skepticism. I think it's important to question everything. To me, anybody who full on just believes they're right 100% is a dangerous person. That's how authoritarianism is spawned, and I think it's healthy to make sure, take a step back and be like, am I really thinking through any flaws? And then on top of that, I'm sure you can tell, growing up in small town Texas, I was raised in a Christian household. I went to American schools, even if some of them are in California. I have a Western perspective. I'd like to think I've actively sought out voices from all different walks of life. I've read Taoist and Buddhist texts. And even from a young age, I'd say about third grade, my teacher, she was talking about nomadic people. And I asked, what is nomadic? What does that mean? And she said they were people that lived off the land and moved from place to place with the seasons. And I remember thinking to myself, I was like, why did we stop that? That sounds like the right way to live, So I'd say Native American thinking has influenced me pretty heavily in my life. And then on top of that, I love an underdog story. Expect me to challenge mainstream thought, and if that's not for you, go ahead and click off. That's fine. Now, I'm not here to hide behind jargon or like complex thoughts and all that, acting like I have the answers. I certainly don't. I have questions, that's for damn sure. But I'm hoping that sharing my backstory, my flaws, things like that, can open up a more honest dialogue between myself and anybody who chooses to watch this, so that we can engage in authentic discussion and questioning. When we're honest with ourselves, we grant ourselves the opportunity to grow. And that's all my hope is for this channel, is even if one person questions something they're thinking and gives it a second look, I've done my job. So that's kind of what I'm hoping from this dialogue. So if you're ready to question everything and build your own personal framework with a community of open-minded people willing to engage in an honest, debate's fine, but I'm hoping for more discussion. Then go ahead and click subscribe, leave a comment. Let's get the ball rolling. I think where we're going from here is gonna be, I'm gonna start like a video series. I find that I'm a decent person at breaking down complex ideas into easy to digest thoughts. So I think our first video is going to be on what it means to know something and if that's even possible. So yeah, I hope you join me for it. And I'm sure by the time I've released this video, it'll be linked down in the description below. But all right, guys, thank you very much.